Good evening everybody, it's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope everyone's had a great Sunday so far. Of course you have. Leeds United actually won a game of football yesterday for the first time since Bonfire Night. So yeah, really happy with the start that Gracia has made to his career as Leeds United manager. Just before we get into yesterday's win in a little bit more detail, please smash a like on the video. It really helps get the video out there. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, as you always do. So yeah, it's your final say on yesterday's 1-0 win against Southampton. So yeah, obviously I watched Match at Day last night properly for the first time in months, which was nice. It was a good watch. It was nice to see obviously Everton lose as well as Bournemouth. Obviously we could have done with West Ham and Forest maybe drawing, or Forest maybe doing us a favour, but West Ham beat them 4-0. But other than that, it was a really good day for Leeds. I thought, as I said on the match review last night, I think the style of play was much different. I think that was very clear and evident for everyone to see. Even from goal kicks, you saw us actually, everyone just hogging the touchline, actually playing with width. And I thought, I don't think we've actually seen that since Bielsa, and it's actually a year ago to this day that Bielsa was sacked as Leeds United coach after a 4-0 home defeat to Tottenham. And again, that feels like a lifetime ago now. So much has happened in that year. But yeah, in terms of the width, we never saw that under Jesse Marsch. We didn't see it in the games under Michael Scabala either. So it's nice that Gracia has realised that we have got talented players out wide, and he can definitely utilise their attributes on the wing. He included Brendan Aronson in the starting lineup, which, like I said last night, I was surprised at. Didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have a good game either. It was a very weird performance from Brendan. There were times where I thought he was doing well, but then there were times where it was just same old Aronson, where he was getting shoved off the ball easily, moaning at the ref all the time. And like I said last night as well, we don't want to see that from a player in a Leeds United shirt. It's all about fight, leaving everything out on that pitch. Stop moaning at refs for things that you just don't need to moan about. If someone tackles you, you get up, you get on with it. End of. I think maybe under the new coach he could find a little bit of confidence, and I hope he does, because there's definitely a player there. I just think at the minute he isn't doing as good as we would want him to. So hopefully he can turn his form around. Adams and McKennie in midfield. I think at times I saw especially in the first half, I saw it more whenever Southampton had a goal kick, Adams would be further back, like further towards our back four, and McKennie was almost acting as like a second number 10, like acting in that press. And I thought it was a unique shape to shape up like. I didn't notice it as much in the second half, whether Javi switched tactics in that way, but in the first half you definitely saw McKennie in a more advanced midfield role. And I think long term, I've seen a lot of people say that a 4-2-3-1 would be better, but I think we have to find a way to fit Adams, McKennie and Rocker in the same midfield. And I think the way that you do that is by having it as a 4-3-3, Adams slightly deeper, with Mark Rocker on the left and Weston McKennie on the right. McKennie said in his first interview as a Leeds player that he prefers being in the 8 role, box to box, attacking and defending. He can do that. And then there's Mark Rocker, who can help progress the ball. And I think with us playing wide more as well, it will benefit Mark so much more. You know, because he can just spray balls out like what Phillips used to do in the Bielsa system. I think it could be very similar. And yeah, I think it would just help elevate his game even more, because I think he was very restricted in the Marsh system. And hopefully we can see him come into his own. I thought Gracia got the subs spot on. The only one that I thought was a bit questionable at the time was bringing Nonto off for Somerville. Nonto wasn't having a bad game at all, really. I felt like still all our play came down that left-hand side through him. But when he came off, it allowed Somerville to go on the right and Jack Harrison to move out onto the left. We ended up seeing like Bamford and Ruta on the pitch at the same time as well, which I thought was very interesting. I think Ruta's had a lot of hammer over the last few weeks from fans, which I think is completely unfair. I get we spent 35 mil on him, but that's not his fault. He isn't saying that he's worth 35 mil at all, and he is still a young kid. He's 20 years old. But I felt his impact yesterday was amazing. He held the ball up well, some good touches. It was direct, always wanting to get forward. Nice bit of skill in the box. And I think, you know, the one thing I will say is the fact that we've paid 35 million for him. We need to start playing him now. We just have to. We have to start playing him because his confidence and his ability will just get even better with more games. Let's move on to the defence as well, who I thought were solid yesterday. Really good. Luke Ayling's like a different player at the minute. Do I think he's the answer long term? Probably not. I'm glad that he got a year extension, because I'm hoping that Cody Drame will come back to the club in the summer and maybe get a decent run at right back. We've seen him how well that he's playing for Luton at the minute on loan. He did really well at Cardiff last season as well. So I do think he could be ready to make that next step up next season, hopefully. But at least he'll have Ayling there for at least another year to be like a mentor and, you know, a shoulder to lean on, maybe in hard moments. Koch and Verber for me is our best centre-back partnership. Even when Cooper's back, I do not want to see Cooper in that back four. You'll hear a lot of people that love Liam Cooper who will still want him back in. I think the only way that Cooper gets back in now is if Javi Gracia chooses to go with a back three, because he is known to do that against certain opponents. So we could maybe see a back three where Cooper is placed in there. But even that, for me, if it's a back three, I'd probably Koch, Verber and Strauch, in all fairness. Koch right centre back, Verber in the middle and Pascal on the left, with Firpo as a wing back and Ayling as a wing back. That's what I would do. I still wouldn't put... Well, I get it, football's subjective, we all have opinions, we all watch the game in different ways, I guess. But Liam Cooper, for me, is one of our worst defenders, in my opinion. And that might be a hot take, but that's just my opinion. And I get he's the captain and everyone says, oh, he's a leader. Yeah, I whenever I've been there this season, I haven't seen him barking orders. I see Tyler Adams barking orders. I've even seen Weston McKennie barking orders more than Cooper this season. And I know that sounds like I'm hammering him, and I'm not. And if he plays, I want him to do well. And if he has a good game, I'll say that he's had a good game. There's no agenda here. I just don't think he is a competent enough defender for the Premier League. But let's have some positivity again, because that was a brief bit of negativity there. I do apologise, but that had to be said. Junior Furberto Carlos. All jokes aside, I think since Cardiff in the Cup, we've seen a slight positive progression with Junior Firpo. Yes, we've had him since the start of last season, so we should have already seen it by now. But let's be honest, Rodrigo had a poor first season at the club. Last season wasn't great from him either. He's only started to come good this season, and it's his third year here. Junior Firpo has been here less time than Rodrigo, and he's starting. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's starting to prove the worth now. He's not the finished article. He's not perfect by any stretch. But it seems like he really cares now. He seems like... I feel like his defending is a lot better as well. He made some really good tackles yesterday. He played... Well, everybody were poor at Everton, so I had it really include in that game. It was good in both the Man United games as well, I felt. And the games in the Cup as well. Obviously, he scored at Accrington. And he scored yesterday against Southampton. And... fair play, and he even said, which I thought his interview after the game was quite telling, as he said, he feels that his abilities get to be showcased more now because the new coach wants to play with more width, and it allows him to get forward more, provide overlaps, assist, goals. So yeah, I thought that was also really telling in his interview. And Javi Gracia, like I said last night, he even said, yes, we've won the game, but next week we'll play it a lot better. Now we've got Chelsea next week at Stamford Bridge. They've just lost again this afternoon to Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They lost out 2-0. Goals from Oliver Skipp and Harry Kane. Chelsea, for me, look really poor at the minute. And I know they've come out and said that Potter, they see him as a long-term project. They're going to try and emulate what Arsenal did with Arteta in terms of allowing him more time. But I hope Graham Potter is in charge of our game, because if he is, I think we can really get at Chelsea and we could even get a win. At the very least a point, which I would take at the minute, and then we get Brighton at home at Elland Road and hopefully we can beat them. But I do seriously think we can cause Chelsea a lot of problems if we play with width. I think you can just tell that the players are not really playing for Potter at the moment. His lineups are completely different from game to game, so you can't really try and predict what lineup he'll go with. They've got Dortmund in the second leg of the Champions League a few days after playing us, so that could be a factor in the team in which he picks. And I hope that they've got all their eggs in that Champions League basket. I really do, because Leeds United need points, and I do seriously believe now it's amazing what a win can do to your belief and your confidence. I could be speaking completely differently this time next week if the Chelsea game is a defeat, but at the minute as it stands, I can see us getting something at the Bridge. I really can. I feel like if we can play with width, if everyone is singing from the same hymn sheet, if we're energetic, if the press is good, if we're a lot better in possession, which, let's be honest, I felt we were very good in possession yesterday. I saw a stat. It was the highest passing completion percentage. It was higher than any game under Jesse Marsh since he, in his spell at the club. And he was here a year. And it's taken Gracia one game to come in and we're better on the ball. Yes, there's going to be misplaced passes. There is in every game with every team. But, it's just very telling. In 85% pass completion, higher than any game under Jesse Marsh. Because it wasn't as frantic. It was more measured. It was frantic in the right moments when it can be frantic. But I thought it was an all-round very good performance. Leeds United deserved the victory. Buzzing for Junior Firpo, I can't lie. And I'm buzzing for Javi Gracia, that he started off his time at Leeds United with 3 points. And like I said, it's reinstalled some belief and some confidence in me that Leeds United can go to Stamford Bridge against Chelsea on Saturday and we can get something, 100%. In the middle of that, though, we do have an FA Cup tie on Tuesday against Fulham, away at Craven Cottage. And I will be doing a live watch-along for the game, guys, so I'll be going live about 7:30 on Tuesday night. It's a 7:15 kickoff, so I'll be live at about 7:30. It'd really mean a lot to me if you could join that live and interact in the chat. It'd be good to have a good conversation with all things related to Leeds United whilst the game is on. Hopefully Leeds United can make it to the quarter-final. And I will be back on the channel tomorrow night with a match preview ahead of that Fulham game on Tuesday. So plenty of content over the next few days. And yeah, make sure that you keep it locked at Chatting Leeds. Hit that notification bell so that you're aware of when I go live and when I'm uploading. I'll be doing another live watch along for the Chelsea game as well. So again, plenty of content over the next week, guys. So make sure you keep it locked at Chatting Leeds. Please smash a like on this video if you've enjoyed it. It really helps get the video out there. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's the road to 3K, guys. If you could do me a solid, press that subscribe button. It is free and it will really help me out. I really do appreciate that. And share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you for the match preview tomorrow night for the Fulham game. Cheers.